Hey guys, how's it going? My name's Noise and welcome back to SevTech Ages. In the last episode, we were exploring around a little bit, trying to find a bunch of different, well, mining locations. Also went and looked at these astral sorcery things that I think they're astral sorcery things. They didn't really do anything, and I went back home. I dropped off my inventory and decided, you know what, we need to find where is it? We need to find a druid circle in a swamp biome. So I am here in a swamp biome. I found a gigantic hole, by the way, and there's some corallium down there, so if we need more, we can come back here and get some. But there is a druid circle. At least that's what it looks like. So I guess let's just jump over there and see what we can do. That scared the crap out of me. Okay. Dark Druid. Can we kill him? Please, no. Ow. And there we go. So we got a Swamp Talisman piece, but we didn't get an achievement. So we need to make the Swamp Talisman. And it looks like there's Druid Altar. There's 4 pieces. So let's go ahead and heal up. Let's eat a nice sandwich. I went ahead. I've been killing every single black bear and pretty much all the steppe wolves I've seen. Our pretty Tartaric gym is full, so that's nice. But yeah, we need to find more druids. And there's another thing right over here. So these guys like to teleport behind you. Ow. And he just broke my helmet. That was rude. Alright, did he not drop a piece? Huh. Well, that's a bummer. I think he was trying to teleport, so if I was right here, probably would have been teleporting behind us a little bit. But I don't see a piece. So that is a big bummer. We need 3 wolf pelts. Ah! Again. With the, like, sudden appearance. Alright, is there any more druids? I guess we just kind of have to hang around here for a little bit. There's another circle over there. These things seem to be pretty common. Unfortunately, the druids don't seem to want to drop stuff that much, so let's go ahead and make a workbench. I guess we can eat a beetroot. Don't need the seeds. And I want to go ahead and make a new helmet. Okay, so beetroot seeds we don't need. Don't need the yellow daffodil, but I'll be nice. And place it on the ground. So we need to kill a couple more druids. Let's see if there's any more over here. Let's eat before we get too close. They really like to teleport around. I think there's one right over there. And alright, he's really annoying. But hey, there's another piece. And that's a piece we don't have. So we have 2 pieces. I don't like this circle. So let's... Hey, there is some tin down below, though. Let's go between these two. These two are a little bit easier to deal with. Also, I'm starting to run out of food, but once we get all the stuff we need, we're not going to go to the Between Lands today. I'm not entirely sure what we're going to do. I haven't fully decided. But you can't break these, by the way. Huh. That's interesting. But let's just kind of go between them all, I guess, and see. We need just a couple more things. So, I hear you. Ow. This is gonna hurt. And, oh, come on. Haha, you messed up. So we just need one more piece. Can we get it? Probably. Do I have to go over to that one? I hope not. So we have one more piece of really good food. I can make more. I've killed a lot of wolves, so we have a good bit of meat. And rude. But I caught the vine, so he didn't give us anything. Okay, so we'll just kind of hang out here for a little bit longer. Should be able to get the last piece relatively soon. Did he drop it? He did. Awesome. So, can we just shift click this stuff? Or does it have to go? Probably has to go in order. And we get some really cool effects. I'm going to stand back a little bit. But this means that it is... Well, we have the Swamp Talisman. So, that is really good. That's going to allow us to make the portal. And now we need to get back. So, we need to head this general direction. So, I'll take you guys along for the ride because I want to kind of talk about things. FYI, I've been saying the past like handful of episodes that I was going to upgrade my computer, and I'm still planning on doing that, and hopefully, again, I've been saying this very often, but hopefully it will be this week that I'll get a chance to. I think as of recording this, I think tomorrow I'm going to get a chance to go to the store and go get some more RAM and then upgrade things sometime later this week. So hopefully by next week it'll be done, but I don't know. It'll be done when I get to it. And that's kind of just well, the way things is. Way things are. Wow, I can speak English. So that's just kind of an aside. But something that kind of informational. If you were wondering how I found the swamp biome, because oh my gosh, that took forever. I went around for quite a while until I decided to finally look it up and how to kind of find things in this. Well, terrain generation. So, SevTech uses a very specific style of terrain generation that is considered a heat map. So, if you're not familiar with this type of stuff, basically every biome in the game is kind of assigned a different values. So, for this one, there are like, what was that? I saw something. It was like brown. Looked like it was alive, but I don't know. But yeah, so every single biome in this game has 2 values, and this is the part that I wasn't entirely sure of. But I was gonna say book. It's not a book. It's the what is it called? The advancements actually tell you a little bit about the whole heat map thing. Well, they tell you half of it. So the way it works is every biome has 2 values. It has a temperature, and I believe there's 5 different temperatures. There's hot, warm, average, cool, icy, I think. I could be wrong on this. But there's the temperature value, and then there's also a humidity value. So there is average, wet, dry. There's 5 of those as well, I do believe. And the way it works is that in a north-south direction, the temperature will change. So if you head north, the temperature will, I believe it will I don't know the actual like direction it changes, but it will change gradually between the 5 different temperatures, and then it will repeat. So if you want to find a colder biome, head north until you find cold biomes. And then, and this is the trick that I didn't realize, the humidity is determined on an east-west scale. So once you find a cold biome, for example, if the biome you want is a cold dry biome and you're in a cold average humidity biome, then you need to head east-west, and you should eventually find what you're looking for. Now, it's not like perfectly square or anything like that, so it's a little bit of a challenge sometimes, but at the same time, it makes it pretty easy to find things, or at least it makes it easier to find things. Let's eat our last tasty sandwich for now. I have a lot of bread, and I have a lot of meat on me, so we'll be able to get plenty of stuff. In fact, just to kind of show off, my nutrition is pretty high. The only thing that isn't is the fruit, so let's switch that, and we'll eat some fruit on the way home. So yeah, I have been kind of exploring around. It took me a while to kind of find the swamp because I went the wrong direction. I was just heading in a north-south direction, and that didn't really work because I was finding the biomes, but I was finding the right temperatures for the different swamps, and there's like 5 different swamps. I believe 1 in each of the different temperature ranges. There's a swamp land in all of them. I could be wrong on that. I'm not going to kill another bear, although we could. It wasn't that bad. It wasn't as scary as I thought it was going to be. But anyways, it's just one of those things of figuring out where to go and all that kind of stuff. So how far do we have to go? Not very. We do need to head south-ish though. So what are we going to do today? If we're not going to go to the Between Lands, we're going to save the Between Lands for once we move our base, because that makes a pretty big portal. And secret, the Between Lands is going to be, if you're familiar with Witchery, Witchery has a whole area called, is this close? Yeah, this is pretty close. Witchery has a whole area called the Spirit World. And in the Spirit World, you basically have to reset your game. In which I mean, you don't actually carry anything over with you. And you're in a world that is basically the same as the overworld, and you basically have to duplicate everything you've done. So the Between Lands is kind of similar, in the sense that once you get over to the Between Lands, none of your stuff will work. You need to. The only thing that really works in the Between Lands is the Between Lands stuff. And so, oops, didn't mean to click that like that. We'll put markers for more gold. I don't know how much of that kind of stuff we're going to need, but it's good to have the markers even if I never use them. But anyways, the Between Lands is going to require us to basically start from scratch, and we have to make tools and everything in the Between Lands because they're the only ones that will really work. All of the tools we can make over here won't. Now, that's good and all, but I don't really want to do that quite yet. So it's really not a big, it's not really a big concern at this point, just because by the time we need stuff, we're gonna try to move the base at least a little bit. and start preparing all that. So it's just kind of we need to do a little bit of some other things before we do that. Now, I don't know that we really need to go to the Between Lands, except for there are some gems. Do I have rock crystals on here? I see a couple of rock crystals. Okay. That's a little bit farther away, so let's just do crystal. Cool. We're gonna need a lot of those, by the way. I'm pretty sure Astral Sorcery uses a lot of rock crystals. But yeah, so the Between Lands is going to be something that we will kind of concern ourselves with later. We are going to need to go there in order to get some different resources. I think there's a handful of gems that are kind of required, but I don't think we're going to need them anytime soon. We'll find out once we get back home. So, and apologies that I'm showing this little trek, but we have stuff to talk about. So, what are we going to do today? Well, the plan is I want to start working towards making actual tools, actually good tools, and that means tinkers. Specifically, I want to have, eventually we're going to have a hammer. We can't make that quite yet. That's kind of funny. We can't make the hammers quite yet. But, okay, falling down there wouldn't... Is that gold? It is. Okay, we're going to mark this too. We can't make hammers quite yet, but it will be something we can do soon-ish. So if we go around this lake, I guess we'll put more gold here. It might be the same thing, but it might not be. So once we get, I think the next age is going to allow us to get the hammers. That's going to make mining things out a lot easier. I don't know. I know that ore excavation is in this, but it works differently than like vein mine or anything like that. So it's one of those things of we might end up using that, we might not. Really depends just on how expensive it is to make. And if the cost is prohibitive, then we won't do it. But getting at least a halfway decent pickaxe and all that kind of fun stuff would be really nice to have. So we are basically back home, and so that's what we're going to work on today. We're just going to do tinker stuff. We have plenty of wood and all that kind of stuff, so we're going to make all the tool stations and whatnot. And with gold we can make casts, so we can make metal tools that aren't just like copper. And all in all, that should be pretty helpful. So back at base, let's go ahead and make the Tartaric Gem. So now we can make the next tier of Tartaric Gem. And so let's get the blood lamp, sigil of the blood lamp. So we need the reagent, which requires a higher Tartaric Gem, because a lesser... Oh my gosh, why is it lagging so much? So I don't know if I can craft these together or I don't know if we can transfer any of this will. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and place this in here, and I'm going to carry this one around with me. And again, once I go out into the world and find stuff, we can kind of deal with maybe getting more demonic will so that we can make the reagent, because we need a common or a lesser. And the lesser is what we just made, so we'll charge this guy up and get that taken care of. So We have new things. I need to find spaces to put all this stuff. Beetroot seeds. Don't really care about a lot of this stuff just because it's not super useful. But we'll keep it nonetheless. So, we have the Swamp Talisman. Let's go ahead and put that in here. And click the talisman on a place sapling to create a large portal. So we'll do that later. We could make fleece. Well, we have fleece, so we could make wool. So let's go ahead and look at that. Wool is 4 fleece and a block of wicker. So we're going to need more fleece than what I have currently, which is fine. We'll deal with that later. Make a bunch of tasty sandwiches. And let's go ahead and start looking at what all we can do. So, I don't think we'll need the framing drawer yet, but the controller, for example, we need to make this smeltery. We need to go to the Between Lands, so that's kind of a thing. Lapis, we need to dig the lapis, unfortunately, and the rock crystal, so I need to get a bunch of that stuff. But stencil table, part builder, and a tool station. So let's get that. Stencil, part builder, tool station. Alright, cool. So blank patterns is bark and siding. Okay, that's actually not too bad. So we're gonna need some bark. I feel like I have some bark. Yes. And let's make 8 of these guys, and then we're gonna need some siding. So let's go ahead and sleep. And then we need to go down and do some stuff with our yeah, better with mods. So we'll need the wood. And everything else should be pretty straightforward to make. We'll see how bad it is, if anything is different, whatnot. But we should be able to just grab this. We need 8 of them. And that should be good. So with that, we should be able to make the blank pattern. And can we make a stencil table right there? Alright, part builder requires some wood, some actual logs, and then the tool station probably requires the crafting bench, which I already have in my inventory, so might as well use it. Now this stuff I don't know that we're going to go ahead and place down yet. We'll see about it. See if we need to or not. Because right now we don't really have all that much in terms of, like, well, we don't have all that much in, ooh, I don't really like that. Let's just use oak. We don't have all that much in terms of, like, space. So don't really want to use it if I don't have to. But there's part builder. And then the tool station. So what's the tool station take? Literally just like so. Cool. And that's it. Alright, well, let's go ahead and put these guys in here, I guess. Do we have any more fleece lying around? No. We do have a lot of cooked wolf meat. And a good bit of other stuff. So let's go ahead and start looking at some of these other quests and whatnot. So we're gonna need we're gonna need sea lanterns. We're gonna get those from the forest in the Twilight Forest. The forest maze, I should say. So market. Create a stone nugget with a block of stone on the anvil. Okay. So let's go ahead and see what we can do. So I think we have a piece of stone somewhere. We're gonna have to hit this. Yeah, we have some stone. So we put that there. We get a stone nugget. And how much gold did I grab? I grabbed a little bit. So I believe 2 pieces of gold is enough to make a cast. Yes, it is 2 ingots. So let's go ahead and do this. We'll get a cast of gold, and then we'll see what we can do. So, smelter tank. So we can't smelt gold, can we? Can we smelt gold? That's going to be something. So what's the temperature needed? So this gives us 140. No, that's how much. So uses needs 416. Alright, well, what does iron need? If I want to make an iron ingot, it needs 600. So that is the difference. And so that's where we need to kind of make sure we have some other things. So what we're going to need, make a porcelain or seared tank. Let's go ahead and make a tank. So a seared tank requires seared bricks. Porcelain tanks require porcelain bricks. Both of those are not too bad. So clay, we need clay, sand, gravel, and that makes us grout. So let's go ahead and do it that way. So if we want 8 of those, we're going to need 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And is it a 1-to-1? Yes. We're going to need 4 gravel and 4 clay. Now later we'll make more of this stuff. I'll probably have to go get some more resources, but should not be too much of an issue. So that should give us our very first nugget cast. Now I don't know how useful that is, but we did it. Now here's the thing, we could go ahead and melt this down. I don't know that we need nuggets cast. Lots of higher stage stuff. Stage 5, stage 5. We can make solium, I guess, but I don't know that that's useful. So what we can do with this, because yeah, none of this stuff is actually looking all that useful. I believe, can we melt this back? No, we can't. Okay, never mind then. So can we make a pattern chest? I'd like 2 of these actually, so we just need some more wood. Let's grab, I guess, the Darklands oak wood. And you know what? Let's go ahead and grind up a bunch of that. So Darklands oak wood. Can we do this, or do we need other? Wait a sec. Those are the logs. Wrong thing. So we want 2 pattern chests, and one is going to be for patterns. One's going to be for casts. So we can put the cast one right here, and we'll keep the pattern one for later. So that'll just be that. Alright, let's go ahead and let's get some more stuff going. So I think between episodes, I'm going to start working on getting a bunch of different building blocks, whatever I can find, whatever looks good. Probably some wood. We're going to make just kind of a basic house up there. And the idea is we'll kind of expand it as we need to. So we're going to make a couple different little buildings. just to kind of get stuff like the smeltery aspect stuff out of it. And we're going to just kind of colonize up there. I think it'll be fine. We'll have a main house that's going to have our storage and all that kind of stuff. I really like doing separate like buildings for things a lot of times, just because it does, it makes sense to me. It gives you more room as well. So for example, some of the stuff will be outside. So totemic will be completely outside. Blood magic for right now, we're not going to worry too much about that. Where can I smelt this up? It says we can do it in the stone grill. Yep, we can. Okay, so that'll take just a little bit of time. But yeah, so I just want to kind of, we're not going to do things super separated and all that kind of stuff. But our main house is going to be mostly just storage, and then we'll have some basic machines eventually. And we'll have things elsewhere. So like all of Abyssalcraft will be somewhere else. There's another mountain. We're going to eventually bridge over to it. We're going to want astral sorcery stuff kind of by itself. And just all that kind of stuff. So let's really quick, can we make a framing table? So that's the only other thing that we're going to potentially want, and that's going to require trim, 5 trim. So sticks and wood. That's pretty simple. We're probably going to want to make a lot more sticks. I think I will do that between episodes so that I can potentially go take care of some stuff. So 1, 2. So I can potentially go mining. And there's the framing table. So that's literally all that is. So put that away, as well as the trim. Now, we might use some of those things later. I honestly haven't decided whether or not we want to do like just storage drawers or anything like that. It might be a possibility, might not be. Anyways, we have these clay barrels. Have no use for them. Let's make a tank. So it is the clay barrel that we need. So we'll just put this stuff here, clay barrel, and there's the seared tank. Now, water. Let's see how bad the market is. Market. It requires Pan's flute. Okay. How do we get Pan's flute? That's going to be a totemic thing. So let's take a look. Musical instruments. Flute. Serenade of the Shrinks. However you say that. So there is a ceremony. This one. So requires a rattle and a flute, and it is relatively difficult. So that might be something we'll do another time. But I think for now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and call the episode here. Next time, we are going to start building a little bit of a house, and I want to show off some really cool things that we can do. So, is there a chest that's mostly empty? Of course not. But we're going to go up there. We're going to start working towards, maybe we'll do a little bit of Between Lands, or we're going to start getting into constellation paper. So that's kind of the next thing that we're going to need, constellation paper. And that's going to require rock crystals, and it's going to require a lot of aquamarine and gold and parchment. Now eventually it is cheaper once we have this altar, but that altar is going to require quite a bit. So it's going to be a little bit of a difficulty to get started with all this. That's why I want the sigil of the blood lamp. So I'll probably go, I'm going to go hunting for different metals and all that kind of stuff. We're going to get a good bit of iron and all that kind of fun stuff. Maybe I'll dig down. I'll find the lapis as well. I won't dig that though. That might be where we start. and we'll just kind of work on getting everything kind of started. Now, we're going to have to go to the Between Lands sooner rather than later so that we can get the smeltery, so that we can make better tools. And that's kind of where we're at. So, I will tell you guys what, I'm going to kind of prepare for the next episode, start building, start getting, not necessarily building, but start getting things ready to go build, and we will kind of go from there. So I hope you guys enjoyed this episode, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!